looked after you.
Indeed. A good start to any day.
Well, I hope so.
I'm always very envious. The view.
I suppose I take it for granted.
Oh, you should never do that, Miss James. If you worked in my office, you'd appreciate it. Believe me. Trains and scaffolding all the time. Interminable.
I was there at the weekend. The new city centre's going to look very impressive.
I'm sure it will be. It would just be nice to have time to appreciate what we have before somebody decides to improve it, don't you think?
Oh well, progress.
Indeed. I've been looking through my previous assessment reports for here. Consistently excellent, academically and in student development.
Thank you.
Oh no, thank you, Miss James. You're an example to some of the places I visit. Bogged down, mediocrity and muddle, lazy, uninspired teaching, and a readiness to accept second best.
We're very proud of our school.
Oh, you have every right to be. A school is the heart, the very literal heart of the community, especially in a small place like this. When my colleagues talk of closing the village schools, busing the children into the towns, building a new generation of super schools, well, I point to places like this. This is too valuable to lose. Sorry, something of a personal hobby horse of mine, I'm afraid.
No, I'm just glad we've got such a powerful friend.
Hardly that. A friend, certainly, but I'm just one bureaucrat amongst many, but at least a bureaucrat who recognises worth when he sees it. Which is why your call came as something of a surprise.
It was a surprise to me as well.
Shall we sit?
Yes. Please.
Now, I've read your report. It's very thorough. You acted completely correctly in calling me in. But I'd appreciate it, please, if you could go over events again for me, in your own words.
Of course. It was on Wednesday, midday break, just after lunch, and one of the kitchen supervisors saw the girl.
Sorry, the name?
The girl, Lucy Abbott.
Age?
12.
Thank you. Please, go on.
As I say, one of the kitchen supervisors saw that Lucy had a small group around her in the playground and was showing them something. She got closer and managed to see what it was. She reported it back to me, and later on that afternoon I called her out of class to see me. I asked her about it, and she voluntarily gave me the...
Artifact?
Yes, she gave it to me.
Where is it now?
Here.
May I?
Please.
Where did she say she found this?
Far Shutt. It's a small valley about a mile north of the village. Her family run a farm up there. A bit desolate.
Isn't that a restricted area?
Not quite. Their farmland is just on the edge of it.
And was she alone when she found this?
She says so.
Tell me about Lucy Abbott. What kind of a girl is she?
Nice girl. Academically sound. Good marks in her exams. Top or near top in most classes. Bit of a dreamer. But a good girl. No trouble.
And the parents?
Again, good people. Been here for generations. Her father runs the farm and her mother works part-time in the doctor's surgery. You want to speak to her?
Yes. In here, if that can be convenient.
Of course.
Oh, and Miss James.
Yes?
Please, don't look so worried. I have every hope we'll be able to sort this out very quickly. A brief chat with the girl, that's all, and then I'll be able to leave you in peace and return, very reluctantly, to the big city.
Thank you, sir.
And don't call me sir. Mr. Curtis will be sufficient.
Of course. Lucy's waiting outside.
I'll see her now then, please.
Mr. Curtis, this is Lucy Abbott.
Hello, Lucy. Miss James has said that I can have a talk with you for a while. You don't mind, do you?
No.
Thank you. Miss James, I think you can leave us for a while now. You must be very busy.
Yes, of course.
Would you like a biscuit, Lucy?
No, thank you.
Would you like to sit down? Would you like to put that bag down, Lucy? Lucy, you mustn't be scared. I only want to talk to you. In just a few questions, it won't take a minute, and then you can go back to your friends. Would you like that?
Is it about that?
Well, yes, it is actually. I'm very curious about this. Where did you find it?
At Shutt.
Where is that exactly? Sorry, I'm not from round here.
It's near our farm. The fields at the top end. They dip down into a valley.
And where in the valley did you find it?
There's a marsh. I found it there.
And do you know what it is?
It's a bone.
A bone.
A human bone. I think. I don't know.
Human? Why do you say human?
I looked at a book in the library, here at school.
And if it is human, where does it come from exactly? Can you show me?
Here, I think.
Really? A human jaw?
I think so. I'm not sure. And it's small. Smaller than my jaw. So it must have belonged to a child. One younger than me, I think.
Do you know what that tells me, Lucy?
No.
That tells me that you are an extremely bright and intelligent girl. Just like Miss James said you were.
Did she?
You have an inquiring mind, Lucy, and that's an excellent thing.
Is it?
In my job, I meet a lot of girls your age. I'm a school inspector, by the way, and you impress me as being a particularly intelligent young lady.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, please, don't call me sir. It makes me feel old. You can call me Mr. Curtis. Anything but sir, all right?
Yes, Mr. Curtis.
Good. You sure you don't want a biscuit?
Thank you.
I think I'll join you. Is there anything else about that bone you can tell me?
It's old.
Old? Why do you say that?
Well, there's animal bones in the fields, and they're white. This one's all dark and brown. See? So it must be older.
Older? How much older?
I don't know.
A year? 10 years? Maybe more?
More, I think.
How much more?
I don't know.
You're right, of course. It is very dark. It looks as if it's been in the ground a long time. Aren't you curious, Lucy?
Curious?
Well, who did it belong to? How did it come to be there down in that valley? You must have wondered.
I don't know.
Lucy, don't tell me that a bright and intelligent girl like you hasn't wondered.
I thought
Yes,
it might have come from the other end of the valley,
the other end.
where the wire fence is, and those signs.
Signs? What signs?
They just say Ministry of Defence. We're not allowed past them.
Do you know why?
Not really.
Well, I do. Many years ago, during the war, there was an army camp there. It's dangerous. There are bullets and grenades, bombs even, lying around or just under the surface. In other places, children have been hurt, some of them killed. Even after all these years, it's extremely dangerous, and that's why it's fenced off.
Is that what happened to her?
Her?
She was a girl. I think I know that.
How?
I don't know.
Now you're just being fanciful, Lucy.
I'm sorry.
And a little bit silly. I'm not criticising you, Lucy. Imagination is an important thing, but making up stories won't tell us what happened here. How come she, or he, came to be at Shutt? Now will it?
No.
And sometimes stories can go just a little too far, can't they? What did you say to the other children that you showed this to?
Just that I found it at Shutt.
And that's all?
Yes.
No make-believe, no stories?
They're not stories!
What aren't stories? Lucy, please tell me, why did you say that? Lucy, listen to me. I want to be your friend. I want to make sure that nothing bad happens to you. If I'm to do that, you must be completely honest with me. Do you understand? Lucy, please lift up your head and look at me. If you're dishonest or keep anything from me, I won't be able to help you. Do you know what learning difficulties are, Lucy?
Yes.
Do you know what special schools are? If you don't answer my questions right away, I will have to place you in a special school. Is that what you want, Lucy? Then please tell me, why did you say they're not stories?
My granddad.
Your granddad?
He told me about the lorries
When was this?
before he died, just before Christmas.
And what did he tell you?
I put it in my essay for English. We were asked to interview the oldest person we knew, and I interviewed Grandad.
I see. And what did he say about the lorries?
It's in my exercise book.
Get it out then, please. Read it for me, please, Lucy. Out loud.
My grandfather is Walter Abbott. He was born on May the 4th, 1929, and he has been a farmer at Shutt all of his life, like his father and his grandfather both were. When the war started, he was 10 years old. He was 12 when the war ended and the Germans came. A lorry full of soldiers drove into the village. They gave chocolate to the children and told them that they liked English people and wanted to be their friends. Then the other lorries came, lots of them, all going to the army camp on the other side of the valley at Shutt. They didn't just have soldiers in them, they had people. My grandfather said there were days when the lorries didn't stop coming all day and all night. He said that the lorries had names of places on them. Manchester and Birmingham and Leeds were the ones he remembered, all full of people with soldiers guarding them. Then the lorry stopped coming and it was quiet in the village. except at night. At night, when he was in bed, my grandfather heard the sounds of people shouting and noises like guns firing over and over and over. In the daylight, there was no sound, but there were clouds of black smoke over the other side of the valley by the camp. There was a bad smell too. My grandfather said it was like meat burning. He asked his father what the smoke and the smell was, and he told him not to ask questions, as it would only get him into trouble. My grandfather has not spoken to anyone about what he saw at Shutt until now. I'm the first person he has told this to.
Wait outside, Lucy, and ask Miss James to come in.
Is Lucy all right? She looks like she's just been... Oh, God, no.
The girl submitted this as an essay.
You must
an
believe me.
assignment for English, she tells me.
I don't.
And what grade did she get? The grammar is sound, if a little pedestrian. The narrative is clear and well expressed. But as for the content...
It wasn't even...
I asked a question, Miss James. What grade did the girl get for her essay?
She didn't receive a grade. It's not been marked.
What do you mean?
I think I understand now. After her grandfather died, we allowed her to miss a few weeks. The deadline for her assignment during that period was delayed. She may have written it, but it's not been marked. She never handed it in. Do you seriously think if I had?
So nobody has seen this?
No. Dear God, no.
Ah, we may not be entirely beyond help then. This is not just a child's essay, Miss James. This is not just the ramblings of a senile old fool to a silly, ignorant girl. This is an affront to everything.
I agree completely.
And yet, she is just a child. No child is beyond hope. I firmly believe that. That's why I became a teacher. That's why I do this job. We must save her from the consequences of her actions.
We have to.